So, I actually had a problem with this in the past couple of months. I was asked in Sunday school if I'd like to do a sermon. And that sounded like a good idea at the time. So I chose to do it. I thought about things that I could say for this sermon nearly every single day for those 2 months. My off time, during school, whenever I got home, in the car when I'm driving, just thinking of things that I could do. I could never manage to actually sit down and write the sermon, though. I always just had things going on, and I just couldn't figure out. I knew what I wanted to say, but I just couldn't figure out the way to say it. And I tried sitting down a couple of times, and I was only left with a few poor excuses for what I really wanted to talk about. And it wasn't until I finally watched the Nike commercial yesterday morning that said, "Just do it," that I actually sat down and wrote the sermon. But, you know, sometimes we have to do that in life. Just stop wasting time, sit down, and just do it. So, I mean, we see these things that we want changed. Don't be waiting for someone else to make the first move to change something. You're also thinking the same exact thing you are. Oh, I hope someone else will stop for that person. Don't let that happen to you. Don't leave yourself an excuse. Step up to the plate and make a change. As Gandhi said to us, be the change that you want to see in the world. If you see a change that you want made, you've got to be the one to go out and make that change. Now, before we go out and donate all of our money to food shelters and to homeless shelters and move to India to stop hunger, well, we've got to get one thing in check. Everything we do should have a reason behind it. So, why are we helping people? It's because it's the right thing to do, right? Right? Now, honestly, what kind of a reason is that? If you go off and you start doing things because it's the right thing to do, you don't actually understand why that's the right thing to do. It's hardly even a reason at all. So, how do we find it? You have to look farther into the question. Why is it the right thing to do? Well, the Bible tells us in Matthew 22:39 to love your neighbor as yourself. Now, have any of you gotten stranded on the side of the road? You were the one with the broken down car, that sort of deal? Yeah. I haven't. I've only been driving about 2 months now. Or about 3-4 months, something like that. Now, you're sitting there on the side of the road. People are just driving by. Everyone's staring at you. Sitting there with the hood popped up, and you just can't figure out what the heck's going wrong. I mean, for all you care, it could be your Johnson ride. It could be anything going wrong. But your phone died, and you just know absolutely nothing about cars. You're hopeless, and you're left there with no hope on the side of the road. You know, simply understanding what that situation is like for other people, I think that helps give us an understanding of why we should stop for that person. We know what it's like, so why not help someone else get out of that situation? The reason it is so important to have solid meaning behind your actions is actually for yourself. It's really easy to get caught in a trap of just doing shallow acts of kindness, which eventually lose their purpose. And you stop acting like a Christian altogether. Instead, we have to have a solid reason behind us. And have that reason there to remind us why these things are the right thing to do. And in turn, this helps put meaning behind what we do. This helps us be compassionate about helping people, and it actually makes things a little bit easier. Because all the time while we're doing these acts of kindness, there's meaning behind it, and there's no reason to doubt why you're helping that person. Now, I want us to leave here today with a purpose in what we do. I don't want us to be arguing over the little things. I want us to be ready to get things done and show what it really means to live as a Christian. Show other people that it's not by the manner of their talking that we're Christians. It's the manner of their doing. It's the manner of their living. Wow. That's really a lot to think about. There's so much in my life that I would go back and change because I didn't live behind those standards. And I'm stuck in a dilemma right now because I don't know how much of this you guys actually understood or how much of it actually got across. I mean, for a lot of this could be our regular Sunday routine. We come in, we go to church, we listen to a sermon. Oh, it's the high school Sunday. No, next week's the day of listening. But, I mean, why let it be that way? All I can really hope for is that when you and I leave this building, we leave ready to make a change. Ready to show others that we're Christians by the manner of our living.